I'm sure you all heard the good news. 2 or maybe 3 weeks ago, the largest plantation, Nottoway, burned to the ground. Now, normally, I don't cheer the burning of any building. However, I think I'm justified in my feelings. One, my research into the history of this country, focusing on slavery and Reconstruction, I know what happened on plantations. Two, I visited Whitney Plantation, which just so happens to be in Louisiana last year during Thanksgiving, and saw what happened on plantations. And finally, I'm black. Blackety black, black, black. Now, my mother's side came from the Bahamas, but my father's side came from Georgia, the state that was not originally supposed to be a slave state. And if I had been in Louisiana at the time, I would have gone to the burning plantation and taken pictures. So, if you are offended by anything I've just said, you should probably swipe to the next video. Yeah, I'm righteously indignant. For those who don't know, Nottoway Plantation in White Castle, Louisiana, was the largest pre-Civil War mansion in all the South. The wooden structure was built 200 years ago. The state's largest antebellum mansion was 166 years old. Nottoway was a sugar slash cotton plantation operated and constructed by slave labor on behalf of John Hamden Randolph in 1859 for roughly $80,000, equivalent to about $3 million in 2025. The home became a museum in the 1980s and was listed on the National Register of Historical Places in 1980. Now, in 1842, John Hampton Randolph and his family moved to Louisiana and purchased a plantation to grow sugarcane. 2 years later, he converted it to a cotton plantation. Within 10 years, Randolph had increased his holdings and had acquired 176 enslaved people. He became one of the more prominent slave owners in the southern United States. In 1855, Randolph purchased 400 acres of swamp and Mississippi riverfront land, where he sought to build a more prestigious home that he named Nottoway, after Nottoway County, Virginia, where he was born. He ordered all of his enslaved people to build his house. Handmade bricks were baked in kilns by enslaved blacks. There were 22 double cabins for families who hoed cane, tended livestock, and boiled juice into crystalline sugar. Now, 2 or 3 weeks ago, flames broke out at Nottoway Plantation in White Castle, Louisiana. It was just after 2 p.m. Drawing engines from 10 local fire departments who were helpless to stop the fire from burning up all 53,000 square feet of the iconic building. I can't stop grinning. ABC reported that one Louisiana fire marshal said it was the biggest fire they had seen in their entire career. Not surprisingly, local politicians in the Pelican State Iberville Parish lamented the unrecoverable loss of what was a beacon of a difficult chapter of American history. A beacon. Do they know what a beacon is? Dictionary.com defines beacon as a fire or light set up in a high or prominent position as a warning, signal, or celebration. A fire or light set up in a high or prominent position as a warning, signal, or celebration. Trust me, these politicians did not lament the loss of what was a warning of a difficult chapter of American history. They were mourning the loss of something that was celebrating slavery, when Black people knew their place, subordinate to white people. No, for real, trust me, I know Louisiana's history, especially what they did during Reconstruction. They fought to return things back to slavery, all during Reconstruction. They're mourning the loss of a symbol of Black enslavement. However, Iberville Parish President Chris Daigle, he says Nottoway was not only the largest remaining antebellum mansion in the South, but also a symbol of both the grandeur and deep complexities of our region's past. He also says, while its early history is undeniably tied to a time of great injustice, over the last several decades, it evolved into a place of reflection, education, and dialogue. It stood as both a cautionary monument and a testament to the importance of preserving history, even the painful parts, so that future generations can learn and grow from it. But of course, if United States history was taught correctly, without whitewashing the era of slavery, then maybe we wouldn't need these monuments to the enslavement of Blacks. In case you haven't guessed, yes, I'm glad it burned down.